Hello, so I just wanted to give you the warm-up that you'll probably need for your daily handstand practice. And also I recommend this workout for every single day. So when you're ready, just coming onto your mat, I just want you to just bounce. I'm just going to shift the mat. Just bounce on the spot. So when we bounce, first thing before practice, we're just bringing more hydration and glide into the body, so it makes it easier to move or get into all the muscle groups. So just really let things go. Then ground the feet and come into twists. So it's just a really vibrant way of waking the body up. When you come to a pause, just swinging the right arm forward, you can bring the left foot forward and really just swing freely. And then change direction. Switch. Very gently, just release. I want you to take your right ear down towards right shoulder, left ear. And then look right to left. You may not know right where you're going, but I do. Direction. Well, I'll make it up to you. All of the fear. Good, short shoulders forward. When your river soul overflowing. Change direction. Good, and then slowly folding all the way down. So as you come down, I want you to notice how tight your hamstrings might be feeling. Press the palms down. If you need to use a block, that's fine. Press into fingertips, half lift up, lower down. Half lift up, lower down. Half lift up, lower down. And now we're just going to bounce. So when you bounce, when you turn to the side, all we're doing is we're using the fingertips and just bouncing the top half of the torso halfway up and back down towards the thighs. You want to keep a long line from the neck and the back. And you'll feel the line of tension all the way from the back of the ankle towards the hamstring. Stay with this. Then shift the hands over towards the right, bounced on the outer edge of the right foot. Good. And then very gently walk the hands back to center. And then walk the hands over towards the left. Bounce. Good. And then very gently come towards the top of your mat. Step your right foot forward and your left foot back, and we're just going to bounce the hips up and down. So notice my left knee stays off the floor. When we bounce, we keep the chest up, so hips lift up, bounce down, up, and we just bounce here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten, so we stay on the ball of the back foot, straighten the front leg, toes come up, and you'll feel the engagement through the back of the right leg. Bend into the right knee, look forward, straighten, look forward, straighten, look forward, straighten. So we're working into the properties of fascia. Fascia is the connective tissue that encases all of the muscles and the bones. So it's just a fabric or a fiber that we want to keep lubricated which enables us to move a lot easier so we don't feel tight or jerky or janky. Good, and then just very gently switching. So we bounce. So normally we do the bouncing for about 10 to 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 10, 20 seconds. And then we straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, hold. Good, bend into the left knee, just step the left foot behind you, coming into a downward facing dog as you plant the palms down on the mat. So what we're going to do is we're going to bounce the chest towards the tops of the thighs. I'll show you what it looks like. Off the mat on the side, chest towards the thighs. Good. Stay with this for 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees down, and we're just going to prepare the wrists. So first, just circle the shoulders over the wrists in a clockwise motion. And then we change direction. And notice the pressure of the shoulders as the shoulders go beyond the fingertips. And then very gently start wrist clocking. Fingertips towards the thighs. Once you wrist clock the fingertips towards the thighs, I want you to tuck the chin in towards the collarbone, send the hips back towards heels, press into your fingertips and float the heel of the hands up. And then very gently shift, lower the heel of the hands down, shift shoulders beyond the wrist line. So press into fingertips, tuck the chin in towards the collarbone, sit back, and then slowly lower the heel of the hand down. 2 more rounds. And then sit back. And then very gently, keeping your left hand turning fingertip pointing towards the thighs, turn your right palm over, so on the top of the palm. You want to bring your right shoulder just above the wrist line. I know that it doesn't feel very comfortable. And then turn the soft of the elbow forward. So if you have the elbow, back of the elbow, the olecranon, turn the soft of the elbow forward. And you want to just start creating monkey paw. Monkey paw, we're just squeezing the fingers in towards the wrist line for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, switch. So turn the fingertips forward. Do it on the left hand. So shoulder goes beyond fingertip. Turn the soft of the elbow forward. We pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Very gently sit back, just roll through the wrists. And then we're just going to shake the hands out. So generally for handstands, we'll be warming up a little bit more. But the main 3 drills that I want you to go through and that we'll be working through entries. So your daily entries. Before we do our daily entries, actually, we're going to do fingertip work. Sorry, I forgot. So we're going to do our fingertip work. So shoulders come above the wrist, and fingertip work, because in our handstands there's so much pressure coming through the wrist, we need to be able to train our fingers and the wrist to take the pressure. So that's why we warm up the wrist. And then fingertips. So fingertip work is you come up on all 5 fingertips on the right hand side, then the left hand side, and then we lower down. So that's 1 round. So your options are to stay in your tabletop position. Option 2 is to come into your plank position. Option 3 is to do this on the tops of the feet. So we'll be going through this in the intensive, so you can progress at any point that you get tired, you just drop the knees down. So making sure shoulders are beyond or above the wrist line or beyond fingertips. Press up to where it feels most comfortable, starting on the right hand side. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze the feet together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Starting on the left hand. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. For this next part, you will need blocks. So having your blocks doesn't matter what level the blocks are at. The most important part is that we're just adding elevation to the wrist. So setting the blocks out in front of you and lying on the belly. I will turn to the side so that you can see. Extend the blocks out in front of you. So I'm just gonna slide back. Place the wrist. And as though someone's pressing, flexing the hand back. So pressing into the palm and drawing the fingers back. Bring the feet together, squeeze the ankles together. From this position, keep pressing the palms, so squeeze ankles together, tuck the belly in, tuck the rib cage in, press forward, hold. Now from the side, I'll show you what this looks like so that you can see the position of the body. Pressing, they just come on their diagonal. So as we press, squeeze the ankles together. Notice that the belly draws in and up, the tailbone tucks under. So tailbone tucks under, posterior tilt. Draw the rib cage in and up, point through the toes, melt the chest down, gaze up. Between the thumbs, there's about fist distance between the hands. Hold for 10, 9, belly in, tuck the tailbone, lift the rib cage in and up, gaze up between the thumbs, flex the hands, point the toes, float the feet up to 3, 2, 1, release. And we just do 3 rounds just like that. When you release, relax the body. And this position is teaching you what your handstand line feels like. So it's a drawing in, turn the tailbone down, draw the belly in and up. Lift through the rib cage, flex the hands, point the toes. So 2 more rounds. As you lower down, squeeze the butt, tuck the tailbone, belly in and up, hold. Float the feet up, ankles together, point the toes. For 3, 2, 1, release. Last round, so ankles together, tuck the toes, tuck the tailbone, point the toes, draw the belly in and up, draw the rib cage in and up, press onto the forearms, press into the palms, flex the hands, melt the armpits down towards the mat. Stay with this for 5, 3, 1, slowly release, and we lift up, stretch out. Now, generally, I love to stretch out the QL before coming into a handstand because I feel as though I carry a lot of tension through the back line of my body. So you can use a block, and your QL is just this space above the hip and below the rib cage. So it's a little bit tender. So I'm going to place a block underneath that space and just kind of roll out the tenderness in that space. And you'll know once you've hit it. It feels a little bit tender. It's not hitting any bone. And just stay here for about 30 seconds. Just to release any tension that may have built up. And then we very gently, that's great, very gently switch sides. And you can rock from side to side. coming up. The thing that we want to do is we want to be able to hang. So when we're coming into our handstand, we really are pushing against the earth, but we do require strength to be able to hold the weight of the body on the hands, because we're so used to doing it from the feet. So we want to assist us in this. A really good way of opening up into the shoulders and to build that strength is to be able to hang. So if you do have a hang bar, I think you can get one from Kmart that just goes above the door for $10 or $15. Or if you have anything where your setup allows you to hang, placing your hands up above, floating the feet up, noticing that this is the position of your handstand, so shoulder heads up towards ears. You'll hang for 30 seconds, 3 rounds. And as your strength starts to increase, so the ability for you to stay hanging, you can go up to 1 minute with a 1 minute rest in between. Hang for 1 minute or 30 seconds, release, come down. If you don't have anywhere that you can hang and all that you do have available is kind of a vertical or horizontal bar, another way to also just help work into stretching or working through the shoulders and the pulling, lengthening sensation is taking your hands either on a bar or this way. We tuck the chin in, tuck the shoulder heads in, draw the belly in, hang as far back as you can. And then from this position, very gently bend into the knees, tuck the tailbone down. Coming back up, we straighten through the legs, hanging as far back as you can. And then I want you to press the hips forward, tuck the tailbone in, open the heart, bend into the elbows, and then we slowly look up. Coming back the same way, tuck the chin in towards collarbone, shoulder heads towards ears. Hang first, then bend into the knees, hang as far back as you can. Straighten the legs, send the hips back, tuck the tailbone, press the belly forward, curl the chin in towards the collarbone, heart forward, bend into the elbows, open up. And we'll just do 5 rounds. So really just depending, you want to just keep, the idea here is that we're continually opening and stretching through the shoulder girdle. Last one, hang back, bend into the knees, and then slowly roll up. We're keeping a rounded tailbone as we lift up. Good, so in between, so you can either do that for 30 seconds, 1 minute, hanging for your 30 seconds, 1 minute. In your time off, the best way to do this is to have your phone with you and have your timer on. You're going to come up against the wall. So to build your maintenance in being able, or your strength to be able to hold a freestanding handstand, we need to strengthen the joints and the muscles to get them used to holding the force of the body. So best way is to come up, walk up the wall, chest towards the wall. So in your plank position, now depending if you've never done this before, you can stay in a plank position and just walk the legs up slightly. Otherwise, you can walk all the way up, walk the hands back towards the wall. Now, I can't find a wall here that will take my full length, so you want to be about a palm away from the wall. Shoulder heads up towards ears, really pushing into the hands, and just the tops of the feet stay on the wall. Notice that nothing else is touching the wall, and then we shift our gaze just between the thumbs, and we hold here for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Depending, so I've been doing this for a little while, it's a 1 minute hold for me. And again, we're creating that shape, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in and up, rib cage in and up, press into the palms, gaze between the thumbs, hold. And then when you're ready, slowly come down. So there's 3 rounds, 1 round of hanging, 30 seconds to 1 minute, 1 round, 30 seconds or 1 minute against the wall. Take as much time as you need between each set, and then from there we'll come into our entries. So to train handstands, I generally believe coming into the middle of the room is the best way to go about it, but I totally understand that that is quite confronting. So handstand entries, we'll have a general set of 3 to 4 handstand entries. The traditional handstand entry is single leg entry. So in the middle of the room, we'll start, bring the palms about 2 palms ahead of the feet. It's a, I just need to make sure that I have space here. So we're going to start with a single leg entry. Single leg entry, you're going to swing the right leg forward and use the momentum to hop the leg up. So I just want you to start here. Swing the right leg forward without bending the knee. Hop up. So using the momentum of the hop of your right leg coming up, then the left leg follows, ankles touch. So swing the right leg up. Just being mindful of the pillar above me. And then ankles touch, and we come down. So the idea is that you quickly bring that second leg up for ankles to touch. Now if that feels too overwhelming and too much, during the practice intensive we'll be doing it with partners, so you'll have someone assisting you. But if you are doing this alone, best way is to be facing the wall and making sure that you're about 1.5 palms or 2 palms away from the wall. And what you'll do you'll start, so we were swinging the right leg up. So you'll swing the right leg up, let the heel touch the wall, bring the left heel next to the right, press into the palms, slowly lower down, swing, lift, lower, swing, lift, lower. You'll do the same with the left leg, so when you switch, so you'll do 10 entries on the right hand side, and then you'll do 10 on the left. Each time left leg comes up first. Good, so we'll do 10 single leg entries on the right, 10 single leg entries on the left. And then the next entry that we'll do is chair, chair, tuck handstand. So tuck handstand again in the middle of the room. Bringing the palms about 2 palms ahead of the feet. Soft bend into the knees. Jump with both feet together, and then we lengthen, lower. Now, again, if you're wanting to do this against the wall, catch my breath. So, bringing the palms down towards the mat. Again, on the practice, we'll be doing this in the middle of the room with a partner. Also, I'll be teaching you how to do it on the wall without assistance. So again, climbing up the wall, bringing the palms 2 palms away from the wall. So you want to make sure that you always come down from the wall and that you have enough energy to do so. Now, from this position, take the palms a little bit further forward. I want you to bend into the knees, slide the knees, lower the thighs down towards the chest. Lift up. Now, if you're wanting to just hold or understand the tuck shape against the wall, the best way to do it is again 2 palms away from the wall. You can jump up with any leg forward. Feel the sitting bones touch the wall. Draw the thighs in towards the chest. And then slowly come back to a handstand position. Sitting bones back towards the wall. Toes tuck in. You can gaze up. Lengthen, press into the heels of the feet, straighten. And this is just for 30 seconds or 1 minute. Draw everything in and up. Pull away. Good. And then that will bring us to our last variation. So I'm just being mindful of the space that I have here. So in the middle of the room, coming into a straddle press, ankles together, feet together, soft bend into the knees. And then we flick the legs out. Good. If you're doing it against the wall, very similar to what we've just done, you'll come with the belly towards the wall. Walk the palms closer towards the wall. And all that we're doing, so I don't have have too much wall support here, slide the legs out as far as that you'll go. You'll just be staying on the toes, and then you sliding
the
all
exercise
the way.
that you'll need to prepare you, to perfectly prime you and prepare you for the practice intensive in Bali. This is more for your benefit, so that when it does come to the practice, you're not feeling either overwhelmed and it's not feeling too challenging or difficult, although this is meant to be just fun and this is more for your growth. I do highly recommend that you film yourself while you practice, so that for two reasons. For one, so that you can understand proprioception. So proprioception is identifying where our body is in space and time and what adjustments are required so that we can feel, as you'll hear me saying this a lot, so that you can feel the line in the handstand. One point being, so the exercise which we did where the wrists were on the blocks flexing the hands, notice that this position there's a posterior tilt, so we tuck the tailbone down, and then I guided you to draw the rib cage in and up and gaze up between the thumbs. Point the toes, squeeze the knees together and hold. This position, it will be easier to identify if you film yourself, because if you're giving an anterior tilt, which gives you your banana back, you'll be able to see that only if you film yourself, only if you do the practice, to understand how to start making the adjustments to tighten everything in and up and come back to that neutral or straight line position. I also recommend, if you can, send these videos to myself. Let me be your partner to champion you through both the exercise, your progress, and to give you like feedback, because that's what I'm here for. I'm in service to you. Any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. I cannot wait to share this experience with you, and I'll see you in just a few months. Thank you so much.